January 3rd, 1944, over Rabaul, New Britain. Major Gregory Pappy Boyington, commander of Marine Fighter Squadron 214, the legendary Black Sheep Squadron was leading a fighter sweep over one of the most heavily defended Japanese bases in the Pacific. Boyington had 25 confirmed kills. Just one more, and he'd tied Joe Foss's record, day 16, as the top Marine ace of World War II. His Black Sheep had been in combat for 3 months. They'd shot down over 200 Japanese aircraft. They'd become legends. But Boyington was exhausted, pushing himself too hard, flying too many missions, drinking too much between missions. His friends could see it. He was running on fumes. That morning, before takeoff, someone asked Boyington, "Pappy, when are you going to take a break?" Boyington's response, "Just a few more. I need to get the record." Over Rabaul, the Black Sheep engaged a large formation of Japanese fighters. In the swirling dogfight, Boyington shot down 3 Japanese aircraft, bringing his total to 28 kills. He'd broken the record. He was now the top Marine ace of World War II, and a Japanese Zero got on his tail. Cannon shells tore into Boyington's F-4 U Corsair. The plane was hit, going down. Boyington bailed out. He hit the water, looked up to see his wingman circling overhead, unable to help. Then a Japanese submarine surfaced. Gregory Pappy Boyington, the top Marine ace, the commander of the Black Sheep. The record holder was pulled from the water and taken prisoner. He would spend the next 20 months in a Japanese POW camp, presumed dead by the United States. The Medal of Honor was awarded posthumously. His family mourned him as killed in action. But Pappy Boyington wasn't dead. He was surviving hell in a POW camp, wondering if he'd ever see home again. This is day 17 of 100 days of World War II heroes. The story of Gregory Pappy Boyington, the bad boy who became America's top Marine ace, who commanded the legendary Black Sheep Squadron, who shot down 28 enemy aircraft, who was shot down, captured, and survived a POW camp, who came home to find he was dead, who struggled with alcoholism and demons for decades, who became a TV legend, and who showed us that heroes aren't always perfect. Sometimes they're deeply flawed, struggling, human. But heroes, nonetheless, with a troubled beginning. Gregory Boyington was born December 4th, 1912, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. But his birth certificate listed him as Gregory Hallenbeck, the name of the man his mother was married to. The truth. Gregory's real father was Charles Boyington, a man his mother had an affair with. When Gregory was born, his mother's marriage to Hallenbeck was falling apart. Childhood confusion. Young Gregory grew up confused about his identity, called Gregory Hallenbeck officially, but that wasn't his real father. Family dysfunction. Parents separated when he was young, moved frequently, unstable childhood. 1920s, Tacoma, Washington. Gregory's mother moved to Tacoma, Washington, and eventually married Charles Boyington, Gregory's biological father. Gregory's name was changed to Gregory Boyington, finally had his real father's name. But the family remained dysfunctional. Arguments constant, money problems, alcohol problems, parents drank heavily, young Gregory caught in middle. The impact. This chaotic childhood shaped Boyington, never felt fully secure, developed rebellious streak, learned to fight physically and verbally, developed charm to navigate dysfunction, started drinking young, following parents' example. School years. Elementary, middle school. Smart kid, good grades when he tried. Bored easily, got in fights frequently. Teachers saw potential, but also problems. High school, Tacoma. Gregory attended high school in Tacoma. Academics. Intelligent, could have been top student, but inconsistent effort. B's and C's mostly. More interested in sports and girls. Athletics. Excellent wrestler. Tough, aggressive, skilled. Swimming team. Natural athlete. Competitive spirit. Social life. Popular with some crowds. Trouble with authority. Dated girls. Drank alcohol. Against law, but did it. Rebellious reputation. Character emerging. By high school, Boyington's personality was forming. Charismatic, people liked him. Rebellious, didn't follow rules. Competitive, hated losing. Physical, wrestling, fighting. Smart, but undisciplined. Drinking problem starting. Graduation, 1930. Boyington graduated high school in 1930, age 17, 18. The decision. Despite family dysfunction and limited money, Boyington decided to attend college. University of Washington, 1930 to 1934. Boyington enrolled at University of Washington in Seattle, paying for college. Money was tight. Boyington worked. Various odd jobs, wrestling, competed for university, anything to pay tuition and expenses. Academics. Boyington studied engineering, smart enough for difficult major, but inconsistent work ethic, grades up and down, graduated but not top of class. ROTC. Boyington joined the Reserve Officers Training Corps. ROTC, military training on campus, officer commission upon graduation, disciplined environment, good for Boyington, learned leadership. Wrestling. Boyington was star wrestler, University of Washington wrestling team, excellent competitor, tough, aggressive, skilled. Wrestling gave him outlet for aggression. Social life. College Boyington was popular, charming, funny, heavy drinker, parties, bars, dated women frequently, in fights occasionally, trouble with authority but charmed his way out. 1934, graduation. Boyington graduated from University of Washington in 1934, bachelor's degree in engineering, ROTC commission as second lieutenant, Army Reserve, age 21, 22, ready for adult life. But what next? 1935, marriage. In 1935, Boyington married Helene Clark, a woman he'd been dating. The marriage. From the start, the marriage had problems. Boyington drank heavily. Money problems. Depression economy. Boyington restless, seeking adventure. Arguments frequent. Children. Boyington and Helene had children. 3 kids eventually. Boyington loved his kids, but struggled as father. Drinking, absences. 1935 to 1936, civilian work. After graduation, Boyington worked civilian engineering jobs. Boeing aircraft, Seattle area. Decent job, decent pay, but Boyington was bored. The restlessness. Boyington later said, I hated the routine. Engineering desk work, same thing every day. I needed something more. The decision, Marine Corps aviation. In 1935 to 1936, Boyington decided to apply for Marine Corps aviation training. Why Marines? Adventure, flying fighters. Escape routine, use ROTC commission. Flying appealed to him. The application. Boyington applied for Marine Corps flight training in 1935. Acceptance. Despite his drinking reputation and rebellious nature, Boyington was accepted. The Marines needed pilots. Boyington had college degree, ROTC commission. Excellent physical condition, wrestling, intelligence. Pensacola, 1936. Boyington reported for Marine Corps flight training at Pensacola, Florida in 1936. The training. Marine flight training was rigorous. Ground school, flight training, gunnery, carrier qualifications, survival training. Washout rate. Many candidates washed out couldn't handle the pressure, the flying, the standards. Boyington's performance. Boyington excelled. Natural pilot, excellent instincts. Excellent gunnery, competitive nature. Aggressive flying, suited for fighters. Leadership emerging. But also problems. Drinking, broke rules, drank in town. Discipline issues, didn't follow all regulations. Fights, got in bar fights. Instructor's dilemma. Boyington's instructors saw one of the best natural pilots they'd trained, but also one of the most undisciplined. They debated washing him out, decided he was too talented to lose. 1937, wings. In 1937, Gregory Boyington earned his naval aviator wings. He was now a Marine pilot, first lieutenant. Age, 24. Assignment fleet, Marine Force. Boyington was assigned to a Marine fighter squadron in the Fleet Marine Force. Flew fighters, F-3, F biplanes initially. Peacetime training. Stationed in San Diego area. Peacetime Marine Corps, 1937 to 1941. For the next 5 years, Boyington served as peacetime Marine pilot. Training flights, exercises, routine duty, bored again. The problems growing. During peacetime service, Boyington's problems got worse. Drinking heavily, bad reputation, gambling, losing money, debt accumulating, marriage deteriorating, Helen and kids suffering, fights with other officers, discipline problems. Career stalling. By 1940, Boyington's Marine career was stalling. Passed over for promotion, first lieutenant too long. Reputation as troublemaker. In debt, gambling, drinking, marriage failing. Frustrated with peacetime boredom. 1941, the Flying Tigers opportunity. In early 1941, retired U.S. Army Captain Claire Chennault was recruiting American pilots to fight for China against Japan. The American Volunteer Group, AVG, Flying Tigers. Chennault's plan: recruit experienced American pilots, resign from U.S. military, go to China as volunteers, fight Japanese and American-made P-40 fighters, get paid well, $600/month, $500 bonus per kill. The offer. The Flying Tigers offered adventure, actual combat, money Boyington desperately needed, escape failing Marine career, chance to fight what he craved. Boyington's decision. In spring 1941, Boyington resigned his Marine commission and joined the Flying Tigers. Why resign? U.S. was officially neutral, couldn't fight for China as U.S. officer, had to resign to join AVG. Plan was to return to U.S. military after. The Marine Corps' view. Many Marine officers saw Boyington's resignation as running away from problems, mercenary behavior, abandoning duty. But Boyington didn't care. He needed the money and craved action. China, 1941 to 1942. Boyington arrived in China in summer-fall 1941 and began training with the Flying Tigers. Training in Burma. The AVG trained in Burma, Myanmar, and learning P-40 Warhawk fighter, tactics against Japanese, preparation for combat. Boyington's performance. In training, Boyington, excellent pilot, natural skills, good gunnery, but discipline problems continued, drinking, arguments with Chennault. December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, Boyington was in Burma with the Flying Tigers. Now the U.S. was officially at war. December 1941, March 1942, combat with Flying Tigers. The Flying Tigers began combat operations against Japanese forces in China, Burma. Boyington's combat record. Boyington flew numerous combat missions with the Flying Tigers and shot down 6 Japanese aircraft. Confirmed. But problems continued. Drinking heavily, arguments with Chennault, discipline issues, other pilots annoyed by him. March 1942, fired. In March 1942, Claire Chennault fired Boyington from the Flying Tigers. Reason. Officially incompatibility. Really, Boyington's drinking, fighting, and insubordination. Boyington's reaction. Boyington was angry, but also relieved. He wanted to get back to the Marines anyway. April 1942. Returned to United States. Boyington returned to the United States in spring 1942. The situation. Boyington was combat veteran, 6 kills, experienced fighter pilot, but also divorced. Helen divorced him, in debt, alcoholic. Returned to Massachusetts. Despite his checkered record, the Marines needed experienced combat pilots desperately. Boyington was reinstated to Marine Corps in summer 1942. Rank major, given rank appropriate to experience. 1942, training duty. Initially, Boyington was assigned to training duty in the U.S., training new pilots, passing on combat experience, waiting for combat assignment. Boyington hated training. Duty wanted to get back to combat. 1943, VMF 214, opportunity. In summer 1943, the Marine Corps was forming a new fighter squadron, VMF 214. The squadron. VMF 214 was being assembled from replacement pilots, pilots who'd washed out of other squadrons, Misfits, troublemakers, pilots nobody else wanted. The perfect command for Boyington. August 1943, Black Sheep Squadron, born. In August 1943, Major Gregory Boyington took command of VMF 214. A name. Squadron nicknamed themselves the Black Sheep Squadron, misfits, black sheep, rejects from other units, troublemakers, pilots with problems. Under Boyington, fellow troublemaker, rebel, bad boy, they found their leader. Boyington's leadership. Boyington led differently than most squadron commanders. Informal, didn't care about regulations, focused on results, shoot down enemy, protect each other. Drank with his pilots, broke fraternization rules, protected them from higher-ups, us against the world mentality. The pilots loved him. The Black Sheep pilots, loyal to Boyington completely, would follow him anywhere, fought hard for him, protected him. September 1943, deployment to South Pacific. VMF 214 deployed to the South Pacific in September 1943. Base. Initially based at various fields in the Solomon Islands. The aircraft. VMF 214 flew the F-4U Corsair, powerful fighter, 2000 GP engine, fast, 400 plus mph, 6.50 caliber machine guns, tough, excellent fighter. The mission. VMF 214's mission, escort bombers, fighter sweeps over Japanese bases, intercept Japanese raids, support ground forces. September 16th, 1943, first combat mission. On September 16th, 1943, VMF 214 flew its first combat mission under Boyington's command. Mission. Sweep over Japanese base at Balalo. The result. In the first mission, the Black Sheep shot down multiple Japanese aircraft. Boyington personally shot down 5 Japanese fighters. The record-breaking run had begun. September-December 1943, the rampage. Over the next 3 months, VMF 214 went on an extraordinary run. Squadron performance. Shot down 200-plus Japanese aircraft, confirmed. Became most successful Marine fighter squadron, legendary status. Boyington's performance. Boyington personally shot down aircraft at incredible rate. September the 16th, 5 kills, first mission. September 18th, 1 kill. September 19th, 2 kills. September 23rd, 1 kill. September 26th, 1 kill. September 27th, 4 kills. October 4th, 2 kills. October the 17th, 4 kills. October 18th, 1 kill. By mid-October, Boyington had 21 total kills. 6 from Flying Tigers, 15 in VMF 214. The push for the record. By late 1943, Boyington was obsessed with breaking Joe Foss's record of 26 kills. The pressure. Boyington was pushing himself, flying every mission possible, exhausting himself, drinking heavily between missions, not sleeping enough, stress building. His friends worried. Other pilots could see Boyington was burning out, flying too much, drinking too much, obsessed with record, reckless, but Boyington wouldn't stop. December 1943, approaching the record. By December 1943, Boyington's kills 25, 6 Flying Tigers, 19 VMF 214. 1 more to tie Foss, 2 more to break the record. December 27th, 1943. On December 27th, Boyington shot down 1 Japanese aircraft. Tied Joe Foss at 26 kills. January 3rd, 1944. The last mission. January 3rd, 1944. The mission that would change everything. The mission. Major fighter sweep over Rabaul, one of the most heavily defended Japanese bases. The formation. Boyington led VMF 214 and other Marine squadrons total of 48 Corsairs. Plan. Sweep over Rabaul. Engage any Japanese fighters. Disrupt Japanese operations. Before takeoff. That morning, several pilots noticed Boyington seemed off, exhausted, hung over, obsessed with getting one more kill. One pilot asked, "Pappy, you okay?" Boyington, "Yeah, I'm fine, just need to get one more." Over Rabaul, 1,000 hours. The Marine formation arrived over Rabaul around 1,000 hours. Japanese fighters scrambled to intercept approximately 70 Japanese aircraft. The biggest air battle VMF 214 had seen. The dogfight. The sky erupted into chaos. 48 American Corsairs, 70 Japanese Zeros and other fighters, swirling dogfight, aircraft everywhere. Boyington's kills. In the massive dogfight, Boyington shot down 3 Japanese aircraft. Kill number 27, Zero fighter guns, saw it go down. Kill number 28. Another Zero smoking crashed. Kill number 29, probable. Third aircraft damaged, probably crashed. Boyington had broken the record. 28 confirmed kills, possibly 29. He was now the top Marine ace of World War II. Then, the hit. A Japanese Zero got on Boyington's tail. The Japanese pilot was good, stayed with Boyington through evasive maneuvers. Cannon fire. 20 mm cannon shells tore into Boyington's Corsair. Engine hit, cockpit hit, aircraft shuddering, going down. Boyington's radio call. Boyington's last radio transmission. "This is Boyington, I've been hit. Going down." The bailout. At approximately 2,000 feet, Boyington bailed out of his burning Corsair, pulled the canopy, climbed out, jumped, parachute open, drifted down toward ocean. From above, Boyington's wingman circled overhead, saw Boyington's parachute, saw him hit the water, saw him get out of parachute harness, saw him in the water. The wingman radioed for rescue. "Boyington is down in the water. Need rescue. Position. Coordinates." But there were no rescue assets close enough, and Japanese boats were in the area. The Japanese submarine. As Boyington floated in the ocean, a Japanese submarine surfaced near him. Boyington's thoughts. Boyington later said his thoughts were, "Well, this is it. They'll either rescue me or shoot me." The capture. Japanese sailors pulled Boyington from the water. He was now a prisoner of war. The last sighting. Boyington's wingman saw the submarine surface, saw figures in the water, then the submarine submerged. The wingman's report, last saw Boyington in water near enemy submarine, presumed captured or killed. Back at base. When VMF 214 returned to base, Boyington missing, presumed killed in action, squadron devastated. The Black Sheep had lost their leader. January 1944, presumed dead. The Marine Corps listed Boyington as missing in action, presumed killed. No body recovered, no confirmation of survival. The official status, KIA, killed in action. April 1944, Medal of Honor, posthumous. In April 1944, the Medal of Honor was awarded to Major Gregory Boyington. Posthumously. A citation, condensed. For extraordinary heroism above and beyond the call of duty as commanding officer of Marine Fighting Squadron 214, during aerial combat against enemy Japanese forces in the Central Solomons, personally destroyed 26 of the many Japanese planes shot down by his squadron, and by his forceful leadership developed the combat readiness in his command, undaunted by tremendous opposition. He challenged the enemy head-on. Major Boyington's record of aerial victories and the outstanding combat readiness of his command is a tribute to his valor and devotion to duty. Family. Boyington's ex-wife and children received the Medals of Honor on his behalf. They mourned him as killed in action. The Black Sheep. VMF 214 continued fighting. They dedicated every mission to Pappy. But Gregory Boyington wasn't dead. The POW camp. January to August, 1945. After his capture, Boyington was taken to various Japanese POW camps, interrogated, beaten, tortured for information, moved between camps, held in solitary confinement, punishment for being officer, starved, minimal food, beaten regularly, brutal conditions. The treatment. Japanese captors knew Boyington was high-value prisoner, fighter A's, interrogated him repeatedly about tactics, aircraft bases, tortured him when he refused to answer, beat him for minor infractions, kept him isolated to break his spirit. Boyington's survival. Boyington survived through stubbornness, refused to break, physical toughness, wrestling background strong, mental toughness, competitive nature, anger, rage at captors kept him going. Hope, believed US would win. He'd go home. But it was close. Boyington nearly died several times. Malnutrition, lost significant weight. Disease, dysentery, tropical diseases, beatings, severe injuries, despair, wondered if anyone knew he was alive. August 15th, 1945, Japan surrenders. On August 15th, 1945, Japan surrendered. Boyington and other POWs heard the news from guards. The emotion. Boyington later said, "When we heard Japan surrendered, I didn't believe it at first, thought it was Japanese trick. Then when I realized it was true, I can't describe the feeling. Relief, joy, disbelief. We'd survived." August 29th, 1945, liberation. On August 29th, 1945, US forces liberated Boyington's POW camp near Tokyo. The condition? When US troops found Boyington, skeletal, lost 30+ pounds, covered in scars, beatings, torture, weak, malnutrition, but alive. The identification. US. Officers asked, "Who are you?" Boyington. Major Gregory Boyington, United States Marine Corps. The officers were shocked. Boyington? You're supposed to be dead. You were awarded the Medal of Honor posthumously. Boyington's response, "Well, I'm not dead, and I'd like that medal." A notification. Word quickly spread. Pappy Boyington is alive. Marine Corps headquarters. Shocked, presumed dead, 20 months. Immediately notified family. Prepared for his return. The media. Pappy Boyington alive. Top Marine ace returns from dead. National sensation. September 1945. Return to United States. Boyington was evacuated to the United States in September 1945. The voyage home. On the ship, Boyington received medical care, gained some weight, learned about his posthumous Medal of Honor, prepared for hero's welcome. The hero's welcome. When Boyington arrived in the US, he received a massive hero's welcome. Ticker tape parades, news coverage, crowds cheering. The ghost who came back. September 5th, 1945. The White House. On September 5th, 1945, Major Gregory Boyington stood in the White House. President Harry Truman placed the Medal of Honor around his neck for the second time. First was posthumous. Truman's words. "Major Boyington, your country is proud of you. Welcome home." Boyington's response. Boyington was uncharacteristically quiet, the weight of everything overwhelming. The record. Boyington's final tally. 28 confirmed kills. Some sources say 26, 28 depending on Flying Tiger's credit. Top Marine ace of World War II, tied or beat Joe Foss depending on count. Medal of Honor, survived POW camp, legend. Post-war, the struggle begins. After the war, Boyington faced a question. What now? He was 32 years old, war hero, Medal of Honor recipient, top Marine ace, but also alcoholic, divorced, in debt, traumatized by POW experience. 1945 to 1947, staying in Marines. Boyington stayed in the Marines after the war, promoted to lieutenant colonel, various assignments, but peacetime Marine Corps bored him again. The problems return. Post-war, Boyington, drinking heavily, self-medicating PTSD. Marriages, married and divorced multiple times. Debt, spending money recklessly. Fights, bar brawls. Trouble with Marine Corps leadership. 1947, retirement. In 1947, Boyington retired from the Marine Corps. Reason. Officially, medical retirement, POW injuries. Really, Marine Corps wanted him gone. Drinking, discipline problems. Boyington was 35 years old, Medal of Honor recipient, and lost. 1947 to 1958, the lost years. For the next 11 years, Boyington drifted. Jobs. Wrestling referee, drew on college experience. Beer salesman, public speaker when sober enough, various odd jobs. Marriages. Married multiple times, third and fourth wives. Divorced multiple times, failed relationships. Drinking. Severe alcoholism. Arrested multiple times, drunk and disorderly. Bar fights, DUIs, hitting bottom repeatedly. Debt. Constantly in debt. Bad investments, spending problems, borrowing money. The sad reality. Medal of Honor recipients were supposed to be heroes, role models. Boyington was a drunk, broke, multiple times divorced mess. But he was honest about it, never pretended to be someone he wasn't. 1958, the book. In 1958, Boyington published his autobiography, Black Sheep. The book. Boyington's memoir was brutally honest. Admitted his drinking. Admitted his failures. Admitted his demons. Told the truth about war, not all glory. Told the truth about himself, not all heroic. The reception. The book was controversial. Some loved the honesty. Some were shocked. Medal of Honor recipient admitting flaws. But it sold well. The impact. The book gave Boyington some money, paid debts, recognition. People wanted to hear his story. Purpose, telling truth about war. 1960s to 1970s, slow recovery. Through the 1960s and early 1970s, Boyington slowly got his life together. Reduced drinking, never fully quit, but better. More stable, fewer arrests, fights. Public speaking, veterans groups, colleges, building legacy. 1976, the TV show. In 1976, NBC launched a TV show based on Boyington's book. Black Sheep, later renamed Black Sheep Squadron. The show. Fictionalized version of VMF 214's exploits. Robert Conrad played Pappy Boyington. Action-adventure series. Ran 1976 to 1978, 2 seasons. Boyington's involvement. Boyington served as technical advisor, consulted on episodes, made cameo appearances, enjoyed the attention, made some money. The impact. The TV show made Boyington famous to new generation, introduced Black Sheep Squadron to millions, brought attention to World War II Marine aviators, gave Boyington renewed purpose. 1970s to 1980s, final years. In his final years, Boyington lived more quietly, California, attended veterans events, spoke to groups, enjoyed modest celebrity from TV show, still drank but more controlled, multiple marriages behind him, grandchildren, reflecting on life. January 11th, 1988, death. Gregory Pappy Boyington died on January 11th, 1988, in Fresno, California. He was 75 years old. Cause, lung cancer. Funeral. Boyington was buried with full military honors at Arlington National Cemetery. Flag-draped coffin, Marine Honor Guard, Medal of Honor tribute, flyover by Marine FA-18 fighters, taps, 3-volley salute. The attendees. Boyington's funeral was attended by family, children, grandchildren from multiple marriages, surviving Black Sheep pilots, fellow veterans, fans from TV show, Marines honoring fallen ace. The eulogy. The eulogy captured Boyington's complex life. Gregory Boyington was not a perfect man. He would be the first to tell you that. He struggled with alcohol. He had multiple failed marriages. He made mistakes. He had demons. But when his country called, he answered. He shot down 28 enemy aircraft. He commanded the legendary Black Sheep Squadron. He earned the Medal of Honor. He was captured, tortured, starved. He survived 20 months in hell. He came home and struggled. He was honest about his struggles. He showed us that heroes aren't always perfect, that warriors can be flawed, that courage in combat doesn't mean you have all the answers in peace. Pappy Boyington was a fighter. In the sky, in the POW camp, in life. He fought until the end, and we honor him for that. The legacy. Military legacy. Top Marine ace, WWII, 28 kills, though some counts vary. Beat Joe Foss's record. Medal of Honor recipient. Commander of legendary Black Sheep Squadron, VMF 214. Flying Tigers veteran, 6 kills, pre-World War II. Survived POW camp, tactical innovator. Cultural legacy. Bar Black Sheep book, 1958 bestseller, brutally honest memoir. Bar Black Sheep Squadron, TV show, 1976 to 1978. Symbol of flawed hero. Honest about struggles, alcoholism, failures. Showed veterans' struggles. Personal legacy. Complex man, brilliant pilot, troubled person. Honest about demons. Never pretended to be perfect. Loved his pilots. Black Sheep were loyal to end. Fought his entire life. Sky, POW camp, peacetime. The lesson. Boyington's life teaches heroes are human and flawed. Combat heroism doesn't solve all problems. PTSD and trauma are real. Honesty matters more than image. You can be both hero and struggling person. The numbers. Combat record. Aerial victories, 28 confirmed. Some sources 26, 28 depending on Flying Tigers credit. Flying Tigers, 6 kills. December 1941, March 1942. VMF 214. 22 kills. September 1943, January 1944. Combat missions 100 plus total. Time in VMF 214 combat, approximately 4 months. Aircraft flown P-40 Warhawk, Flying Tigers, F-4U Corsair, VMF 214. Record breaking. Broke Joe Foss's record of 26 kills. Top Marine ace of World War II. POW experience. Captured. January 3rd, 1944. Liberated August 29th, 1945. Time as POW approximately 20 months. Multiple camps. Torture, starvation, solitary confinement. Lost 30 plus pounds. Life timeline. Born December 4th, 1912. College, University of Washington. 1930 to 1934. Marine pilot wings. 1937, age 24. Flying Tigers. 1941 to 1942. Age 28, 29. VMF 214 Command. August 1943, age 30. Shot down January 3rd, 1944, age 31. 28th kill, record, January 3rd, 1944. POW, January 1944, August 1945. Medal of Honor, September 5th, 1945, age 32. Retired Marines, 1947, age 35. Book published, 1958, age 46. TV show, 1976 to 1978, age 64, 66. Died, January 11, 1988, age 75. Marriages. First wife, Helen, divorced. Multiple subsequent marriages, 3, 4 total. Multiple divorces, several children. Awards. Medal of Honor, Navy Cross, Distinguished Flying Cross, Air Medal, multiple, Purple Heart, POW Medal, Campaign Medals. Post-war struggles. Severe alcoholism, decades. Multiple arrests, drunk and disorderly DUIs. Multiple divorces, debt problems, bar fights, job instability. December 4th, 1912. Born in Idaho. Confused childhood. Dysfunctional family. Alcoholic parents. Learned to fight young. University of Washington. Wrestling star. Engineering degree. ROTC commission. Already drinking heavily. 1937. Marine pilot. Talented but undisciplined. Drinking, fighting. Debt. 1941. Resigned Marines. Joined Flying Tigers. China, 6 kills. Fired for drinking. 1942. Back to Marines. Given Squadron of Misfits. VMF 214. The Black Sheep. September 1943. January 1944. 4 months of fury. 22 kills. Total, 28. Beat Foss's record. Top Marine ace. January 3rd, 1944. Shot down over Rabaul. Captured. 20 months POW hell. Tortured. Starved. Survived. August 1945. Liberation. Presumed dead. Medal of Honor given posthumously. But he came back. 1945 to 1988. Struggled. Alcoholism, divorces, debt, fights, but honest about it all. Wrote book, TV show, became legend anyway. That's Pappy Boyington, the bad boy who became the top ace, the rebel who earned the Medal of Honor, the hero who struggled his entire life, the man who showed us that warriors aren't perfect, they're human, flawed, fighting their own battles.